Nah.
Alright.
And we're live.
Cool. We can still edit if we can't kick it off real quick, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Alright.
We can definitely do that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is me and Martin's first attempt at a podcast. Thank you for even considering listening. We're going to see what we can do here. I think we both have a unique... Oh, shit! Explosions! We're fucking with the soundboard. Nice. But me and I am a farmer. I used to be a cook. I've worked in the seafood industry. I've done a tiny bit of commercial fishing. I've always worked with food. I've always worked with my hands. I've always been what I'd like to call an artisan. And Martin, what a do, Cuddy?
Me. Hello. I am an artist, a visual artist predominantly. I also dabble a little in film, photography, and graphic design. I've worked in the service industry for over 12 years now, and I've dealt with a lot of shitty people. And a lot of cool people too. Not everybody out there is shitty, but there's a lot of shitty people in between, the ones that are really cool.
Hey Xander, if you ever hear this, we both still hate you so much. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Xan the puss.
Xan the puss. That could be a wonderful topic one day. I could rant about Xanthopus for a good hour. Mm-hmm. Anyways, sorry.
It's a new year, everybody. How you doing? How you living? You still holding on to those resolutions? You moving forward? You giving up yet? Who cares? Because today is the same as it was yesterday and the same as it will be tomorrow. It's a new day. Every day. Every day is a chance to start anew. Remember that.
And like the new year is only relevant to like this country and like a couple of like most other European countries, but like the Jewish calendar, it doesn't matter. Like if you're in Israel, it's called Sylvester. New Year's Eve is called Sylvester. It's not the New Year. The New Year's in, well, I should know this, but I don't. It's Rosh Hashanah, which is, I don't know, it's in the fall-ish, summer kind of thing. The Chinese calendar is different.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we all know the Chinese have their own goddamn New
Year.
Yeah,
exactly. The I don't know if you'd say Islamic or Muslim. The Islamic or Muslim calendar is different as well. So what the fuck? Why does that matter?
The New Year is in only relation to the Gregorian calendar, which not everybody follows.
Yeah. So I guess it's important to us, but like in the global aspect, what the fuck?
I don't think anybody living on the moon gives a shit about our calendar. They don't give a fuck. And if you're gonna move to Mars, they're not gonna give a shit about our calendar either, because their years are gonna be completely different. Please, everybody who sucks, just go to Mars.
Wait, but I would go to Mars. I would do it if like I'm a farmer. I know how to produce food. I can cook food. Like I'm not in good shape, but like I can get there. Like I could be a good candidate for Mars. And like I saw that shit you posted on Facebook the other day about Mars, it was about Mars. It was about like what a lot of people think is going to happen in like 2030, 2040.
Yeah. That I was
like,
taking that.
Mars was in every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the first colony, the second colony, third colony. I'd be that first colony.
But the whole thing is like, I feel like that's not how it's gonna happen. We're not just gonna like build domes because it's like, what the fuck are we building into? Like we're gonna have to go and just send robot digging bots things to go. We have to terraform Mars before we could put a dome. I don't think we could put a dome into Martian soil. I don't think that's a thing. Like, I don't think our structural integrity of our buildings, as we understand them now, would be relative on Mars. I think the gravity's different.
We can get there. We could build buildings that survive there in a habitat that's similar to Earth. Like, we can go to the bottom of the ocean and we could send a fucking people and dome thingies and all the infrastructure behind colonists to Mars. They'd survive. I think it's shitty that we're thinking about going to Mars instead of fixing Earth. are working.
I agree.
I feel like that's what's behind your idea, but like
that too, but also let me see some shit on the moon. Let me see some proof of concept closer to home. Figure that shit before you go to Mars. Don't go to Mars and be like, oh yeah, like shit don't work. Like,
well, maybe it's a scary idea that we're not doing that because we don't have time or resources or money. It's like people who are trying to like ensure the continuity of the human genome are like, we don't got time to fuck with the moon. We got plan A and plan B.
but we're gonna have to have like a communications array on the moon because it's slightly further out and it's got a different rotation, and I feel like that would be, although we have satellites, that would be a good position between us and Mars. At certain points, it would be closer than some of our actual satellites are because it's outside of that particular gravitational force.
And it doesn't have the atmosphere to fuck with all the,
exactly.
all the interference and everything, yeah.
So we can have a communications array on the moon. Let's see that first. Let's see a way to talk to Mars.
But what if it's that bad that they know that we don't got time?
What do you mean time? We're not in a rush. We don't need to, like, there is so much Earth that we still have to fuck up. Like, I feel like people don't really understand.
You're right. In the context of, like, the human genome continuity, like me and you, our awesome Santa Barbara existence will get fucking deleted. But,
like, humans cover, like, 20% of the globe.
Yeah, but
still
we impacted so much, so, like, you can't move up. From, like, like, if it goes to 25, it's like, the Earth's just like, fuck you. What is it called? Ice Age. Fuck your shit. Get out of here.
Well, to slow down the clock, we should just have global regulation of population. That's where we're going to get to eventually because there's a capacity of the planet. Just like a club, the club gets to capacity. You can't have more people in the club. You can't just have people in the club fucking and making babies and just be like, yeah, we don't have room for all that shit, man. We're at fucking capacity. And we're going to hit that point at some time, and somebody has got to do the math. How many resources can we have to support X amount of people? And what is the cap of this planet? Figure out the goddamn cap, and we need to not get there faster. Like, we need to hit the brakes. Like, we can't just keep speeding towards that cap not knowing where the cap is. The cap could be like 20 people away, and we just passed it now because 20 people just were born.
Yeah. I'm super glad you brought that idea up because I feel like that's something me and you talk about a lot, is the humanity, we lie to ourselves. We're not honest about the actual problems. Like, we're too, like, the biggest voices and the most heard voices in the mainstream of humanity is like, we need to make it work for everybody, and there's room for everybody, and we'll find the problems, and there is no cap, and it's like, no, that's not the case. Like, we're at maximum capacity, or we're getting there. We can't be soft, we can't be sensitive, we just have to be realistic and logical, and be honest with ourselves as a society, as a species. Like, we can't keep doing what we're doing. We have to be honest, and the most heard discussions usually are just about nothing. Like, okay, I'm gonna work in this coal thing because it applies, and I was listening to Dave Chappelle talk about his opinion on Donald Trump's approach to coal, and he was basically, the point he made was like, I've never seen coal. What the fuck is coal? Why are we talking about coal?
What the fuck's coal?
So why are we even talking about it? That's not it's like, we should be talking about renewable resources and how to create jobs in that aspect. But we're just talking about coal.
And oil. And these limited resources that, once again, have a motherfucking cap. And we're creating our own infrastructure based on these limited resources. Like the roads, the fucking power plants. So many industries that are sustained by the oil industry, the plastic, the petroleum products.
We all know this shit. We've all seen these fucking documentaries. We've seen Zeitgeist. We've seen Collapse. Like, why aren't we having an honest discussion and, like, actually implementing things that will make a difference? Or why do me and Martin feel so obliged to create a podcast because we think that more people should hear this. More people should actually talk about it and talk about these things when we meet at the grocery store and talk about these things when we're having any conversation, not just like in hushed voices like, oh, I know I'm a little crazy, but like I think there's too many people in the world and I think we should regulate the population. It's like, no, fuck, that's super important. That is a valid point and we need to talk about that. But if you talk about it, you're
crazy. You're looked on as a nut job. You're like, oh my god, this guy's insane. He doesn't know what's going on. He's crazy.
Nice.
Why would we trust anything he says? Because half of what he says is scary. We don't want to believe it. People are telling us it's not true, so why would we listen?
God. All right. We're passionate people. We can go off, but we really trying to do this podcast the best we can. So we wrote some notes. I hate to do it, but I just want to talk about the weed thing.
Okay, no, let's
Like,
get
I hate
into the
that
weed
it's the
thing.
first topic, but
It's bullshit. We just got weed legal in California, and then Donald Trump goes and be like, yeah, but the federal government now gives a shit again. And it's like, what the fuck, man?
I don't think it's Donald. It's Sessions. I don't think Trump gives a fuck. I don't think he even has the capacity.
Trump's administration was...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. And one of these days we're gonna have a real good topic about the fact that Trump, like the whole thing, and the man behind the curtain are winning. The more we talk about him, but anyways.
I think it's just a huge conspiracy, so people don't have a word to use when they say that something is better than another thing. That's all it was.
What do you mean? Like, that sounds... Yeah, I get it, but like...
Trump, it means something is better than something else. But now anytime somebody says, oh, that trumps that, you're like, oh, you just think about Trump. You're just like, oh, it's